Namaskar. I'm Swamini Pramananda, a senior disciple of Pujya Sri Swami Dayananda Saraswati, who has been the saint, the spiritual leader, the visionary and a master teacher of Advaita Vedanta, known globally for his great work in the teaching tradition. I have been an Acharya in Swami Dayananda Saraswati's organization called Purna Vidya. As an Acharya, I served the organization for 10 years. But overall, I served his mission with him for 30 long years. During that time, as an Acharya of Vedanta and Sanskritam, I also used to teach children classes in the US, in different parts of the world, wherever my guru sent me. And eventually he wanted me to write a series of books that really bring to our young generation the true vision of our spiritual, cultural heritage of Bharat. It was very important, a work that had never been done for the society at large, a global society, especially in the modern times with globalization, with so much migration all over the world, and breakdown of cultural barriers with technological advancements. The young generation are really losing their cultural roots. Not only kids growing up, Indian kids growing up in foreign countries where they have to contend with dual cultures, but Indian kids growing up in India too. They have been alienated from their own spiritual roots, cultural roots, and a great knowledge tradition of Bharat, the ancient knowledge tradition that no part of our planet could ever compare with what our ancestors and elders and the rishis produce for us. And so Purna Vidya became a model, a vision to present to the next generation in a beautiful playway method of instruction, teach them about the ancient culture of our country. This program is taught over a 12-year period with weekly one class. It is structured with games, there are answer keys, there are teaching tools for teachers to go through every topic and be able to present to children in a systematic, methodical manner. We also have teacher trainings we do for many schools all over the country that have implemented Purna Vidya as part of their value education. I would say not only India, many countries around the world. In Australia, in the public schools, some parts of Purna Vidya are being used. In UK, it's very popular. In America, in many communities, hundreds and thousands of community centers, Purna Vidya today, after over 2 decades of the great propagation work, we find it is the unique, really unique, one of its kind, the most appreciated program that needs to be implemented not only in countries around the world, but much more so in Bharat, in our own schools, for our own posterity of the next generation. So let me show you what is Purna Vidya. we begin with part 1, and we have actually, as I said, 12 parts. So it's a 12-year course, and part 1 begins with children, Panchatantra, and there are stories from Panchatantra, there are drawings, and at the end of every storytelling we have a message for the child. Being value education, from part 1 we begin with messages for children. To make it easy for the teachers, we have a syllabus plan. And so the 32 lessons in a year that every teacher has to teach is structured exactly which lesson, what classroom activity, what homework assignments, everything is presented in great detail. Along the same lines, we have Puranic Tales for the Young, which is the 2nd-year course. Then comes the 3rd-year course called Ramayana. And from Ramayana onwards, we have 2 books. The content being large, we have a textbook for the children, and we have the guideline book for the teachers. The 4th part is called Bhagavad Purana. And as you can see, there are lots of games, hundreds of games. With every story, we have fill in the blanks, crossword puzzles, match the right column, and so on, so forth. It is a real fishing game for Matsya Avatara, and hundreds of such beautiful games which children simply gobble up. In the guidelines for teaching for Bhagavad Purana, as mentioned, this is a syllabus plan for the teachers. And we have an answer key for every book like this. Additionally, there is a drama, a play, and there is also little prayers in the Bhagavad Purana. Every text has small prayers, 2 lines, so that children learn to articulate the Sanskrit language. Along these lines, we have further gone with Mahabharata, and then comes the 6th part. So up to 5 parts is the mythology and the Purana introduction for children. From 6th part, that means 6th standard, the 6th year course, they go into the academics of the knowledge traditions of Bharat. So we begin with values, and we have a very beautiful playway method again in the similar format of a textbook and a guideline. Value education is given along with emphasis on the cultural ethos. It's important that the children are inspired by the heroes of the mythology. These are our archetypes of this great ancient civilization, and therefore, keeping those elements in mind, we have created these books. The 7th part is called Ishvara and Religious Disciplines. Bharat has a unique culture. It is a land wherein we still revere our elements, like the great Egyptian and Greek ancient cultures, like the Chinese culture, like the Native American culture, which are all today non-existent in the planet. They don't exist, they exist only in the libraries. And here we have the most ancient living civilization on earth, which can boast of its indigenous culture being still vibrant and alive in the consciousness of the people of Bharat. And this means we revere, we respect the environment. We respect and revere our rivers, our mountains, our trees, our planets, the sun, the moon, the skies, the wind, the rain. There is a sense, a unique sense of sanctity value in looking at the various elements of earth. And so, how we look upon how unique is this culture in its practices, day-to-day practices, where Ishvara and religious culture, religious disciplines are presented in detail in part 7 of this program. Part 8 moves on to describe the culture. Because for us, culture is also not secular. Culture is secular in every part of the world. The people don't think much about food and dance and music and arts and fine arts, performing arts. They don't think much of it. They're secular, more or less. But in Bharat, the indigenous culture is about seeing all these day-to-day life as sacred. And therefore the music is sacred, the art is sacred, the fine arts are sacred, the food is sacred. For us, there is nothing which is not sacred. And this uniqueness about Bharatiya Sanskriti is highlighted in part 8 of this program. Of course, one will ask, whatever we say, where is the source? What is the pramanam? What is the literature behind this all? And nothing less than the Vedas, the ancient Vedas, the oldest scripture of humankind today, which really is alive in its culture and consciousness of its people, which is presented, known in contemporary society as Sanātana Dharma. There is a section of part 9, one book on Sanātana Dharma that introduces the literary tradition. It introduces and presents various rites of passage called samskaras, the great detail of samskara culture in the country. The next part, which is a part 10, remember, it goes for the 10th standard. The children are adolescent and they have a lot of questions about life. They become little philosophers and they wish to know about pressures, peer pressures, cultural identity and their own biological development. And so in the 10th part, we address human development and spiritual growth. 11th part is detailing the Vedic knowledge. And so we have described beautifully in little chapters for 1-year course everything about Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandas, Niruktam, Jyotisham, Kalpam, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Arthashastra, Gandharva Shastra, Puranic literature, Dharma Shastra, Vastu Shastra, Agama Shastra, Shilpa Shastra, Vastu literature, Yoga Shastra, Vedanta literature, Bhakti literature in every state of our country. This forms a most wonderful, comprehensive glimpse into the knowledge traditions of Bharat. And finally, the 12th part of this program is an introduction to this wonderful scripture that carries global wisdom, carried for centuries, called the Bhagavad Gita. We introduce the young generation to the Gita in the 12th standard, and so we have here a very, very thorough for 12-year course in 2 parts through a play-away method of instruction, textbooks and guidelines to teaching. This program has reached many schools in India and many temple communities around the world, and the whole inspiration of writing these books happened to us on the banks of Ganga in my Guruji's ashram in Rishikesh, Arsha Vidya Peetham, Swami Dayananda Ashram in Purani Jari. Thank you all. Namaskar.